Welcome! Today, we're diving into the world of identity proofing, especially as it relates to government services. In our increasingly digital society, proving who you are online is more important than ever. Governments need to make sure that the person accessing sensitive services is truly who they claim to be. This process is called identity proofing. It's the foundation for secure access to everything from tax filings to social benefits. Let's explore what identity proofing means, why it matters, and how it works in the context of government services. Identity proofing is the process of verifying that an individual is who they say they are. It's a critical step before granting access to government services. This process typically involves collecting personal information and supporting documents, then checking them against trusted sources. The goal is to prevent fraud, protect sensitive data, and ensure that only authorized individuals can access certain services. Without identity proofing, government systems would be vulnerable to impersonation and misuse. Government agencies handle a vast array of sensitive information and provide critical services to citizens. From healthcare to tax returns, these services require a high level of trust. Identity proofing helps ensure that only eligible individuals can access these benefits. It also helps prevent fraud, identity theft, and unauthorized access. By verifying identities, governments can maintain the integrity of their services and protect citizens' personal information. The identity proofing process usually starts when an individual applies for a government service online. They're asked to provide personal details, such as their name, date of birth, and address. Next, they may need to upload documents like a driver's license or passport. The system then checks these details against official databases to confirm their authenticity. If everything matches, the person's identity is verified, and they can proceed to use the service. There are several types of identity proofing methods used by governments. The most common are knowledge-based verification, document verification, and biometric verification. Knowledge-based verification asks questions only the real person should know. Document verification involves checking official documents. Biometric verification uses unique physical traits, like fingerprints or facial recognition. Each method has its strengths and is often used in combination for higher security. Knowledge-based verification is one of the oldest forms of identity proofing. It involves asking questions that only the legitimate user should be able to answer. These might include previous addresses, loan amounts, or other personal history details. While convenient, this method can be vulnerable if personal information has been leaked or stolen. That's why it's often combined with other verification methods for added security. Document verification is a widely used method in government identity proofing. Applicants are required to submit official documents, such as a passport, driver's license, or national ID card. These documents are then checked for authenticity, either manually by staff or automatically using software. This method is more secure than knowledge-based verification, but it relies on the quality and validity of the documents provided. Biometric verification uses unique physical characteristics to confirm identity. Common biometrics include fingerprints, facial recognition, and iris scans. This method is highly secure because these traits are difficult to replicate or steal. Governments increasingly use biometrics for services like border control, social benefits, and secure logins. However, privacy concerns and technical challenges must be carefully managed. To enhance security, governments often use multi-factor identity proofing. This means combining two or more methods, such as document verification and biometrics. By requiring multiple proofs, it becomes much harder for someone to impersonate another person. Multi-factor approaches are becoming the standard for high-risk or sensitive government services. Identity proofing can happen online or in person. Online proofing is convenient and fast, using digital uploads and remote verification. In-person proofing, on the other hand, often takes place at government offices, where staff check documents face-to-face. Each approach has its pros and cons. Online proofing is more accessible, but in-person checks can be more thorough for high-risk cases. Many governments now use digital identity platforms to streamline identity proofing. These platforms allow citizens to create secure digital identities, which can be used to access multiple services. Once verified, users can log in quickly and safely without repeating the proofing process each time. Digital identity platforms are transforming how people interact with government services, making access faster and more secure. Identity proofing is used across a wide range of government services. Examples include applying for passports, accessing healthcare, filing taxes, and receiving social benefits. In each case, the government must be sure that the person requesting the service is who they claim to be. This protects both the individual and the integrity of the government system. When filing taxes online, identity proofing is essential. Tax agencies require users to verify their identity before accessing sensitive financial information. This might involve answering security questions, uploading ID documents, or using biometric verification. These steps help prevent tax fraud and protect citizens' financial data. Accessing healthcare services often requires identity proofing to protect patient privacy and prevent fraud. Patients may need to show ID, answer personal questions, or use digital identity platforms. This ensures that only authorized individuals can access medical records and receive care, safeguarding both personal health information and public resources. Social benefit programs, such as unemployment assistance or food aid, rely on identity proofing to ensure that only eligible individuals receive support. Applicants must verify their identity through documents, interviews, or digital platforms. This process helps prevent abuse of the system and ensures that resources reach those who truly need them. Applying for a passport is a classic example of identity proofing in action. Applicants must provide multiple forms of identification, such as birth certificates, photos, and proof of citizenship. These documents are carefully checked to confirm the person's identity before a passport is issued. This process helps prevent identity fraud and ensures the security of international travel. In some countries, identity proofing is required to vote in elections. Voters may need to present government-issued ID or register in advance. This helps ensure that only eligible citizens can vote and prevents election fraud. However, it's important to balance security with accessibility so that all eligible voters can participate. Despite its importance, identity proofing comes with challenges. Not everyone has access to official documents or digital devices. Some people may struggle with technology or have privacy concerns. Governments must find ways to make identity proofing accessible, secure, and user-friendly for all citizens, regardless of their circumstances. Privacy is a major concern in identity proofing. Governments collect sensitive personal information, which must be protected from misuse or breaches. Strong data protection laws and secure systems are essential. Citizens need to trust that their information will be handled responsibly and only used for legitimate purposes. One of the main goals of identity proofing is to prevent fraud. By verifying identities, governments can stop criminals from accessing services or stealing benefits. Advanced technologies, such as AI and machine learning, are increasingly used to detect suspicious patterns and flag potential fraud. This ongoing effort is crucial for maintaining the integrity of government programs. Ensuring that identity proofing is accessible to everyone is a key challenge. Some citizens may not have traditional IDs, stable addresses, or access to technology. Governments are exploring alternative methods, such as community verification or mobile outreach, to include vulnerable populations. The goal is to make sure no one is left behind when accessing essential services. A smooth user experience is essential for effective identity proofing. Complicated or confusing processes can discourage people from accessing services. Governments are working to simplify forms, provide clear instructions, and offer support for those who need help. The aim is to make identity proofing as straightforward and stress-free as possible. Technology plays a huge role in modern identity proofing. From secure databases to facial recognition software, new tools are making verification faster and more reliable. However, technology must be used responsibly, with strong safeguards to protect privacy and prevent misuse. Governments continue to invest in secure, innovative solutions to keep up with evolving threats. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are transforming identity proofing. These technologies can analyze large amounts of data, detect patterns, and flag suspicious activity in real time. By automating parts of the verification process, AI helps governments respond quickly to new threats and improve accuracy. However, it's important to ensure transparency and fairness in how these tools are used. Mobile devices are increasingly used for identity proofing. Citizens can take photos of documents, use facial recognition, or receive verification codes on their phones. This makes the process more convenient and accessible, especially for those who may not have access to computers. Mobile identity proofing is helping to bridge the digital divide and reach more people. Remote identity proofing allows people to verify their identity from anywhere without visiting a government office. This is especially important during emergencies or for those living in remote areas. Remote proofing uses digital uploads, video calls, or mobile apps to check identities securely. It's a flexible solution that increases access to government services. Many countries follow international standards for identity proofing. These standards help ensure that verification processes are secure, consistent, and recognized across borders. Organizations like the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, set guidelines for document security, biometrics, and data protection. Following these standards helps governments build trust and cooperate internationally. Identity proofing is governed by laws and regulations that protect citizens' rights. These frameworks set rules for how personal data is collected, stored, and used. Governments must comply with privacy laws, anti-fraud measures, and security standards. Clear legal frameworks help ensure that identity proofing is fair, transparent, and accountable. Cybersecurity is a critical part of identity proofing. Governments must protect their systems from hacking, data breaches, and other cyber threats. This involves using strong encryption, secure networks, and regular security audits. By investing in cybersecurity, governments can safeguard personal information and maintain public trust in their services. Identity proofing for children presents unique challenges. Children may not have official IDs or digital footprints. Governments often rely on parental verification, school records, or birth certificates. Special care is needed to protect children's data and ensure that only authorized guardians can access services on their behalf. Immigrants and refugees may face additional hurdles in identity proofing. They might lack local documents or have lost papers during migration. Governments work with international agencies, use alternative records, or conduct interviews to verify identities. Ensuring fair access to services for immigrants is a key part of inclusive identity proofing. Elderly citizens may encounter difficulties with digital identity proofing due to limited technology skills or outdated documents. Governments provide support through in-person services, helplines, or simplified digital platforms. The aim is to make sure older adults can access the services they need without unnecessary barriers. People with disabilities may need accessible identity proofing options. This could include assistive technologies, alternative verification methods, or support from caregivers. Governments are working to remove barriers and ensure that everyone, regardless of ability, can prove their identity and access essential services. Homeless individuals often lack stable addresses or official documents, making identity proofing challenging. Governments and nonprofits may use community verification, shelter records, or outreach programs to help homeless people access services. Flexible approaches are essential to ensure that no one is excluded from vital support. People living in rural or remote areas may have limited access to government offices or digital infrastructure. Mobile outreach, local partnerships, and offline verification methods can help bridge the gap. Ensuring rural residents can prove their identity is crucial for equal access to government services. Identity proofing is not a one-time process. Governments must continuously update their methods to keep up with new threats and technologies. Regular reviews, feedback from users, and collaboration with experts help ensure that identity proofing remains effective, secure, and user-friendly. The future of identity proofing will likely involve even more advanced technologies, such as blockchain, decentralized identities, and improved biometrics. These innovations promise greater security, privacy, and convenience. Governments are exploring these trends to stay ahead of evolving risks and meet the changing needs of citizens. A key challenge in identity proofing is balancing strong security with user convenience. Too many steps can frustrate users, while too few can leave systems vulnerable. Governments strive to find the right balance, using risk-based approaches that adjust verification requirements based on the sensitivity of the service. Educating the public about identity proofing is essential for its success. Citizens need to understand why verification is necessary, how their data is protected, and what to expect during the process. Governments use campaigns, guides, and support services to raise awareness and build trust in identity proofing systems. Governments often collaborate with private companies to improve identity proofing. Banks, telecom providers, and technology firms can provide additional verification data or innovative solutions. These partnerships help create more robust and flexible identity proofing systems, benefiting both citizens and government agencies. Effective identity proofing supports social inclusion by ensuring that everyone can access government services. Special efforts are needed to reach marginalized groups, such as minorities, migrants, and people without traditional IDs. Inclusive policies and flexible verification methods help promote equality and social cohesion. During emergencies, such as natural disasters or pandemics, rapid identity proofing is essential for delivering aid and services. Governments may use simplified or temporary verification methods to reach affected populations quickly. Flexibility and speed are key to ensuring that help reaches those who need it most. Identity proofing is a cornerstone of digital transformation in government. As more services move online, secure and efficient verification becomes even more important. Digital identity systems are enabling governments to offer faster, more convenient, and more secure services to citizens everywhere. To sum up, identity proofing is a vital process for government services. It protects citizens, prevents fraud, and ensures that only eligible individuals can access important benefits. As technology evolves, identity proofing methods will continue to improve, making government services more secure, accessible, and user-friendly for everyone. As we look to the future, Identity proofing will remain at the heart of secure government services. Ongoing innovation, strong privacy protections, and inclusive policies will shape how governments verify identities and serve their citizens. By staying informed and engaged, we can all play a part in building a safer, more accessible digital society.